Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video where today Dead by Daylight has finally posted some more teasers, and I am super excited about this. We haven't had teasers in such a long time. Anyway, these are for the new Survivor, and the PTB for that Survivor will be releasing on May 6th, which makes May a really packed up month, with FNAF a live stream being like 3 days after that on May 9th, so hell yes. Anyway, without further ado, let's go straight into these teasers. I'll show both of them to you, one right after another, and then we'll talk about them.
I'm gonna be honest. Barr's latest book isn't quite hitting the same. Maybe my expectations are too high. I don't know. I'm sure you would have thoughts. You always do. Did. I guess. Even now, I'm still not feeling the whole past tense of it all. I think you would have liked it. I am dead tired. To make matters worse, my eyes are like so bloodshot. Nothing comforts a patient like scary-ass red eyes staring down at them. I think I need more sleep. But Screams in the Dark is having this big event. No rest for the wicked, as it goes. Am I doing too much?
Right, lots of exciting stuff to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is this character named Barra up here. So within the lore, there's a character named Cliff Barra. This is Dead by Daylight's lore. And we can only assume it to be the same person. Either way, Barra out in the outside world was a horror director, and a pretty famous one at that. He had a friend named Alex who eventually went missing into the fog. And we don't know if this is the same Alex that created the Alex's Toolbox item in Dead by Daylight for the survivors, but I mean, we can only assume it to be. Either way, Barra eventually went into the fog to try and locate Alex and save him, and which he did successfully. He managed to save Alex, not 100% sure if he sent him back to the real world or if he got him out of wherever he was and swapped places with him, because whatever altercation occurred forced Barra to become tortured into becoming a killer. Now, I say tortured into becoming a killer, and I know not many people would have heard that, but it is a thing. So I say tortured into becoming a killer, which is weird because one, we've never seen him in game, and two, killers aren't tortured, right? Wrong. Minus the one we've never seen him in game. We've never seen him in game. Basically, he's a killer from potentially another realm that we just haven't really had access to, as we only have access to a limited amount of killers. At least that's what I guess. He's in the lore. He's somewhere in there, okay? And killers aren't always sent to trials. They're sent to other places as well to perform missions for the entity, basically. The entity has a couple tactics in order to gain killers. So its first tactic and foremost is basically just making an agreement, like pulling a killer in who already wants to go around killing, removing the whole effect of law, removing the effect of punishment in return, and just giving them free will to kill. The second method is called the negotiation mark. So the negotiation mark is only available on one character at the moment, and that is Vecna with that little mark on the back of his neck. That is a negotiation mark so that his power is weakened so he can better serve the entity to sort of play fair to the trials. And it's an agreement to both of them that Vecna will be weakened and the entity will grant him the trials to experiment on. But the third method, and the most intense method, is the torture method. So there's only one in-game character who actually has even remnants of being tortured into becoming a killer or forced to become one, and that would be Trapper himself. Evan McMillan is, he has all those hooks bearing out of his back, all those cuts in his skin, the constant bandages, everything is all wounds caused by the entity, as he at one point resented the entity and decided he would not at all kill for it, and he actually tried to fight back against it, which failed. You know, normal human versus cosmic god doesn't usually end very well. Either way, Trapper has borne all those sort of sharp metal objects in his back, and he now grunts every time he picks up a trap because of how painful it is. Anyway, so Cliff Barra went through the same sort of method and became a killer for the entity himself as well. Next thing I wanted to talk about is this unknown or potentially deceased / missing person. Now, this character was mentioned as sort of hinted to in a way, as if these voice memos were being recorded to them. Effectively, our new survivor is stating that somebody did or would have had thoughts on something They didn't really say that they weren't here anymore, but they definitely said it in a way that kind of would make you think that that person is no longer around. Anyway, that being said, there are a lot of theories on who this person is. One of the biggest ones is that this is Alex as well, that this is Alex that is in the fog, the one who invented the toolbox, or the one that we were just talking about before. Either way, it would appear that Cliff Barr's mission to get him safe home did not go as successfully as planned, and he never returned home, but he was still saved from that sort of torture area. Either way, we're not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that would be correct. I would say that they are probably referring to the Alex that is currently in the fog somewhere. Next up, I wanted to talk about the career depictions. So, first off, this chapter's name is Steady Pulse, and secondly, the character in question talks about having patience, bringing up how their eyes are bloodshot due to overtiredness, and patients wouldn't like that. So, yeah, they're a doctor or some form of medical professional. Now, initially I would have thought some sort of therapist or something like that, but the chapter name being Steady Pulse kind of relates it to, medical. Either way, we're not 100% sure if this has any meaning or if this is just to sort of give more insight on who the survivor is. This could very well be a relation to some of the, even the doctor himself or something along the lines of it. There's no real sort of hint given that it's meant for anything, but at least now we know slightly more about the survivor, and we can even predict potentially some of the perks we could be getting. However, that is about all, in my opinion. That is everything that I feel needs to be spoken about. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Cannot wait for this to come out on May 6th, and then FNAF almost immediately after on May 9th. So, hell yeah, and sorry, when I say come out, I mean PTB, and with the FNAF it's the live stream. Either way, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day or night, depending on where you live, and goodbye.